the dot product is a way to multiply vectors together. We're all pretty good at multiplying numbers together, right? If I say 5 times 3, we can all probably get to an answer one way or another. But we've been working a lot in this course with vectors, right? And this is saying I can multiply 2 vectors together, which is a little bit of a trickier idea if you think about it, right? A vector is not just a number, it's got a magnitude and a direction, so it kind of points this way, and then here's this other one that points this way. How is it that I can multiply those 2 things together? There's actually a few different ways that you can multiply vectors. The particular one that we are going to use in this class is called the dot product. It's called that because we will use the dot as a symbol. And the result of the dot product is actually a scalar. Even though you put 2 vectors into the dot product, the result you get is no longer a vector, the scalar. The value of the dot product in this class is given by the magnitude of each vector, so the magnitude of f times the magnitude of dx, times the cosine of the angle in between the vectors. Right? You can see a little picture that I've drawn down here of 2 example vectors with a angle marked in between them. So you don't just get to multiply the magnitudes of the vectors together, you also have to take into account what direction those vectors are. We use a cosine to do that because the dot product is trying to say something physical. And the physical thing it's trying to say is when the vectors point in the same direction, the dot product ought to be very large and positive. When the vectors point in opposite directions, the dot product ought to be very small and negative. And when the vectors point perpendicular to each other, the dot product ought to be 0. And I'll let you kind of remember stuff about cosine to confirm that that is indeed what you get. So that's how the dot product works.